Taylor, just to explain to us what they told you after that play.
They didn't tell me anything after the play. I mean, all I really want to say on it, just so I don't get myself into trouble, is, I mean, I did exactly what Coach told me to do, and went to the ref, said report, and yeah, I don't know. And, you know, it was my understanding, too, that, you know, Dan brings up the possibility of those sorts of plays pregame, so I did what I was told to do, did how we did it in practice all week, and I mean, that's probably all I'm really going to touch on with that.
It looked like Jared did tell you to go over there, and you were all over there.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can add to it. I mean, you can see the video of it, and it is what it is, I guess.
what does it say about this team that they fought and got themselves back in position to make that play?
I mean, I would say that we had a lot of opportunities earlier in the game, and we didn't play clean enough offensively. Hats off to our defense. They played a hell of a game. So definitely want to give those guys credit. And ultimately, like, when it came down to it, we tried to make all the plays we could, and we just came up one short.
Did it feel like a playoff atmosphere out there?
Yeah, definitely did. I mean, that's Hank even said prior to that last 2-minute drive, he was like, this is like playoff football right here. So it was good to go down there, no timeouts, and execute that drive for a touchdown. Like I said, unfortunately, just came up 1 point short.
Final thing for me, you had that ball in your hands, and it felt like you had the lead. How easy is it to shake that off and get ready to play again next week?
I mean, given the fact that we lost, it's going to be pretty easy. You know, I think we're all going to be excited to get back out there and go get one more before the playoffs.
Taylor, can you share the emotions, the frustration, just of that final sort of sequence there, all those 2-point plays, as you know, it's taken away from you, have another chance with those sort of goes through your head and all that?
I mean, they called the penalty, and it's like, all right, well, let's line back up and let's make the play. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it at that point. We just have to move on to the next play and try to score, try to win the game. So it's kind of a gut punch, but you got to turn the page real quick because you got about 20 seconds before you got to run another play.
When you were clear that you waited to the officials, what was the explanation that was given to you?
I didn't get any explanation. I wasn't going to go talk to him in the game. That's probably never a good idea for a player who's a little hot. So I didn't even talk to him.
When you turned around and saw a flag, what went through your mind at that point?
I don't know. I mean, that's not the flag I would have expected, but, you know, I don't know. Just kind of, like I said, just kind of a gut punch.
Was it on Skip? Was it on you? I mean, clearly on you, the penalty was called?
I have no idea because I didn't talk to the ref. I mean, I'm assuming it was on me because, you know, who else would it be on?
Right.
So, I mean, there's just, like I said, there's nothing I could do about it. I just got to go into the next play.
Well, thanks, guys.
Just to clarify,
Thanks.
can 2 players report? Is that what happened in that play, essentially? 2 players reported, is that what
I have no idea. Yeah, I didn't hear who he said reported and all that. So, yeah.
Some things aren't going to go your way, and yeah, it's definitely a range of emotions.
Big stop for the defense there when you had to hold them to a field goal at the end. What's that say about your guys out there?
Yeah, we're growing. We're growing as a group. Obviously, stuff to clean up, but you know, for the most part, I thought we played really well today, and you know, they're a really good offense, and you know, obviously Dak's a great quarterback. So, you know, I think altogether we played solid. But yeah, stuff to improve on as well.
Some lessons out there as well. Kendall, it looked like CD's going in for a touchdown. He's able to jar that ball loose. That's a huge play.
Yeah, honestly, that's huge. It's in the red zone, you know, let alone a turnover, and yeah, that's a huge play, and that's what defenses thrive off of, and we definitely needed that.
This is a game between 2 playoff teams. Does this tell you you guys are ready for the playoffs? You just need to tune a couple things up?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think, you know, obviously guys are, you know, disappointed right now, but at the same time, you know, there's a lot of good stuff on film, a lot of stuff to build off of, and, you know, we won the North. We have you know, at least a 3rd seed from my perspective, and, you know, we have a home playoff game, and that's really when these things count, and we just have a lot to look forward to.
No moral victories, you know, obviously, but just the way that this defense played. I mean,
Yeah.
they had been averaging 40 points a game.
Yeah, right.
Hold them 20
Yeah.
points. Is that something really positive to take?
For
from
sure.
today?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think so. There's a lot of guys that stepped up, and yeah, it's definitely a lot to build off of, and stuff to get excited about, and just keep getting better going forward.
Take us through the emotions that you felt sort of in that final sequence there when you guys scored the touchdown. It seems like you win on the or take the lead on the 2-point.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions. Obviously, I think we probably all had the similar emotions. Us and the fans, but at the end of the day, it's just I guess I'll let Dan comment on it, but yeah, it's definitely a range of emotions going up and down, and it's disappointing, but it is what it is.
Dan seemed very frustrated. I mean, does this locker room feel like a win was taken from them?
To a certain extent, I'd say. I feel like it's at the end of the day, we lost the game, and we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and see what we can do better, and not let it come down to a single play on the road. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's tough, but I think we have a lot to look forward to, and that's really we have a lot to build off of as a team.
Kind of addressing this with Dan, but CD had a huge game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Just the challenge of covering a guy like that.
Yeah.
Like that defensively.
Yeah, I think what was that third down in the 90th? So take away that, but yeah, there's definitely stuff to work on, and yeah, he's a great player, but yeah, it's giving up that many yards to a receiver is definitely not acceptable, and we just have to grow and get better from it.
A bunch of things well on offense that we know we need to clean up and be better. We had some egregious behavior on our side of the ball, but you can never leave it in the hands of somebody else. And we knew that.
You're looking at that first half where you got into their territory numerous times and just came out and sitting on 3 for a while after being in there.
Yeah, definitely. Our defense playing how they played and being able to hold them for a while was 7-3 for a while, and we were, like you said, we're driving the ball. We got to be able to capitalize on those in the moments and in those opportunities.
Do you feel like you got to go in the second half, in particular with the running game, which seemed to then spur the passing game?
Yeah, I definitely think we did. Just Ben came in, let us know he was going to lean on the run a little bit more, and we did that. We were able to score. But yeah,
it's tough, but you guys hung in there and you found a way to almost take this thing. Is there something to build on out of this?
It's always room to build, but I think for us, it's not merely us just looking at it as taking something from it. We know that we're better than what we perform to be. We know we can play better, and we will play better. Yeah, we got to be better.
They were really good at stopping you guys on third down after that opening drive. Just what were they doing? It didn't really seem matter what kind of situation. They kind of seemed like they knew what was coming on those third downs.
I don't even think it was much of them. It was more of, like I said, we didn't do a lot of things well. We made a bunch of mistakes on our side of the ball. We're accountable for those mistakes, and some of those issues we got to clean up, and we will. And we'll be better, but I think ultimately we beat ourselves.
David, we've talked about this before, but excuse me, how much do players appreciate Dan's guts, let's call it, right, the willingness to run the fake punt, to go for 2 at the end, even when things don't work out? I wonder how you walk away from that feeling.
Like I said at the beginning of the year, we got a ballsy coach, and I wouldn't want to have any other coach. Dan is the ideal, perfect head coach in the NFL. He coaches with passion. He's not coaching to yell at. He wants you to learn to be the best version of yourself, and however that looks, he does that. But him making that call, like it was the right call. Like I said, like if we would have did things better on our side of the ball, we wouldn't even have to been in them situations to where he had to make them calls.
Thanks, Steve.
Last one. When you were talking about this before, but just the range of emotions that you go through at the end when the 2-point play, so, you score the touchdown, you seem to hit, maybe take the lead, it gets taken away from you. Explain what kind of goes through your mind right there.
Yeah, like I said, we made a bunch of mistakes on our side of the ball. We shouldn't even been in that position. So it sucked that it happened, but we got some time now to reevaluate where we are and where we want to go, and we'll get better from this.
Thanks, David.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.